All right. Now, just like before, we talked about board feet. That's the ultimate reason we're looking at that tree. How many board feet are in that tree? So we need to know the diameter of the tree. So let's say you got a 10-inch tree. All right. Now we need to find out how many logs are in that tree. Now, how tall is a log when you're talking about trees?
16 feet.
16 feet? You said the same thing. Good job. 16 feet. That's a log. All right. Now, with this stick here, it's designed to go up to 4 logs. So 4 times 16, that'll give you some height. You don't really even need to know that. So the end result, let's get to that so we'll get that out of the way and then we can go back to measuring the tree. If you look right here where the Forest Service shield is, to the right of that, do you see where it says 1 16-foot log, 2 16-foot logs, 3 and then 4? Okay. Well, let's say we have a tree that is 14 inches in diameter. Just like when you were measuring diameters a while ago, go to the top of that stick and go to your 14. You all see that number 14? Okay. Now let's go down and let's pretend we get 3 logs out of a tree. We can look up with this stick and see we've got 3 merchantable logs in that tree up to the height. So we look at the intersection of 3 16-foot logs. So that's the 3rd category down on 14. What number do y'all see?
175.
175. Okay, so right here where my finger is, you see 14 inches. 3 foot logs, or 3 16-foot logs is 3rd down, and you look at that number, 3 down underneath of the 14-inch diameter, and you see 175. Now guess what that number means? That 175 means you have 175 board feet in that tree of merchantable timber. Okay? So, that's what the end result is. Finding your diameter of a tree, just like measuring. We're going to learn how to find the height, how many logs, and then we're just going to go over and down and find that number and our little calculator. It's all done for you. And that's how many board feet are in a tree. And again, a board foot, 12 inches by 12 inches by 1 inch thick. So if you have a tree with 175 board feet, you have a tree with 175 12 by 12 by 1 inch thick boards inside of it, as far as how much volume of timber or lumber. Okay, so what we're going to need to do when you're trying to find the height of a tree, what distance do we have to be away from it? We have to be 66 feet away. So I'm going to pretend that I don't know, maybe this tree right here, I've already stepped off 66 feet. Okay, I'm 1 chain away from it. Now what I'm going to do is use this stick again to find the height of it. So again, you're going to be looking at the side with the shield. So make sure you're looking at your stick while we talk about this. And if you look, when I hold my stick up straight like this on the right-hand side, and some sticks are different. Sometimes it'll be on the left-hand side. It just depends on what stick you're using. You'll see that there's some numbers here. Do y'all see the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4 up the side. Okay, that is how many logs we can find out are in a tree.
This one.
So what I'm going to do, I generally like to hold it at the bottom of the stick. If y'all can look up where I'm holding, somewhere around here, and you see where the numbers are on the right hand side. This is another instance where this has to be 25 inches away from your eye. So I'm going to hold this 25 inches and I'll put my hat to the side so I don't flip it. And then I'm going to flip it up straight. Okay? Now, where do I need to put the bottom of the stick where my little ring fingers? If you forget, it says right here, line up this end with the stump height. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, stump height of a tree, I've heard several different numbers, but somewhere around a foot off the ground is probably a good place to start. I just pick about 12 inches off the ground, somewhere in there. That's about stump height.
Is that like where it stops butting up and just goes straight, or?
It's just a term for how far off the ground, like if they had actually cut it. They'll generally cut it much closer to the ground.
Okay.
But it has to start somewhere to get that continuation of the mathematical equation to get how much wood.
Gotcha.
And that's what this stick is designed. So whether you put it at 10 feet or a stump height, this will measure it. But if you want to get the most accurate you want to start lower as opposed to way up there. And then again, about a foot is easy to understand how far a foot is off the ground. You know, I mean, it's only like that. So about 12 inches off the ground is stump height, somewhere in there. So I'm going to take this, flip it up, and I'm going to line up the bottom of this with about a foot off the ground, which is not very far. Now, what's important is this stick is straight up and down, and this may be where you have somebody to help you out. Because if you go like this, you're going to be way off. If you go like this, you're going to be way off. Straight up and down. So I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to see where do I think I need to stop counting how many logs I have. Now on that tree, I'm probably going to stop below where it forks. Okay? And that's just, over time, you'll learn how you need to do that. Now again, according to standards, you need to stop or cut off the top at 8 inches, or where it gets really limby or it's not useful anymore. So just for practice, that's where I'm going to stop. So if I stop there, and let's pretend again I'm 66 feet away, I'm getting about a little over 3 logs. So that's what I'm going to count, 3 logs. So that's what you need to do to find out the height of the tree. And then you can do your math again. The diameter of the tree, the height of the tree, how many board feet. All right? So, from the very beginning, when you're looking at a tree, I would suggest go ahead and get the diameter of it first. I'm just going to do an example real quick. So again, DBH. All right, I've got one measurement of the diameter. I'm going to step over here. DBH. Get the other measurement. And they're pretty close, so I'm going to stick with that number. And now I'm going to walk away from the tree, make sure I've got a line of sight where I can see. Perfect. Right there. Yep. Thank you very much. So now I've just stepped away. I've stepped a chain. For me, it's 12.5 steps. Okay? So I'm pretty close to 66 feet. So now I know the diameter of the tree. Now I want to find the height of the tree. So again, I'm on the same side with the shield, 25 inches away from my eye, not moving my head. I'm at stump height, and I'm going to look up, and I'm just going to go with about 3 just to make it simple. So I get 3 logs on that tree thereabouts. And again, this is just for practice. So now what I need to do is take my diameter, which I got around 14. And that's interesting because I got 3 16-foot logs. And what did we come up with a while ago?
175.
175. That's kind of weird, huh? So that tree has about 175 board feet of wooden. Okay.
Would you then just go by like what the cost of that is for that time or that year for lumber pricing?
You can. This is a little different than what you would do with actual selling it because oftentimes
Okay.
that's done by total weight.
Okay.
But this gives the landowner just an idea of actually how much wood they have, and then they can use other ways to figure out. Yeah, there are ways to also look at board feet of usage. Oftentimes it's weight though. When the lumber yard is getting it from the logger, they're going by weight oftentimes.
Okay, very interesting.
But for what we're doing here, we're looking for board feet. Okay.